Welcome back to Ben Explains Enterprise Systems. This is the second episode of our SAP Controlling series. In the last episode, we covered the big picture, what controlling is, how it fits into SAP, and why it matters for any finance professionals. Today, we are going deeper into one of the most fundamental building blocks in SAP CO, cost centers. By the end of this video, you will understand what cost centers are, how they are structured, and how to think about them the right way, no matter if you're a new consultant, a finance team member, or just getting started with SAP. Okay, let's go. So what exactly is a cost center? Simply put, a cost center is an organizational unit where costs are collected and tracked. Think of it as a bucket, a place in SAP where you track how much money a specific department, team, or function is spending. For example, your IT department is a cost center. Your HR department is a cost center. Even a specific production line or regional office can be a cost center too. The key idea is this: a cost center is responsible for costs, but not for revenue. It's not a profit center, it's purely a cost tracking unit. This is important because it allows management to ask very specific questions, like how much did the marketing department spend last quarter? Did the finance team stay within budget? Where are costs running over? Cost centers make that kind of analysis possible. Next, let's talk about structure. Because in SAP, everything fits within a hierarchy, and cost centers are no exception. Cost centers belong to a controlling area. The controlling area is the top-level organizational unit in SAP CO. It defines the scope of cost accounting. One controlling area can contain multiple company codes, which means you can track costs across several legal entities within the same controlling framework. Within the controlling area, cost centers are organized into a cost center hierarchy, also called the standard hierarchy. This is a tree structure that groups cost center logically. For example, you might have a top node or group called company, under which you have operations, sales, and administration. And under each of those, you have individual cost centers. This hierarchy is very powerful because it lets you roll up and report costs at any level, from a single cost center all the way up to the entire company. One thing to remember: every cost center must be assigned to exactly one node in the standard hierarchy, and that is a SAP requirement. Next, when you create a cost center in SAP using transaction code KS01, there are several key fields to fill in. Understanding what they are and how they work will definitely help us know better about cost centers. First, the cost center ID and name. This is your identifier. Some companies use a numeric code, others use a meaningful abbreviation. The naming convention matters a lot for readability and reporting reasons. Next, the validity period. Cost centers in SAP are time dependent, meaning you define a valid from and a valid to date. This allows you to make changes over time without losing historical data. Then there's the cost center category. This is a one-character field that classifies the type of cost center. For example, 1 for production, 4 for administration, 5 for sales. The category controls which activities and statistical key figures can be used with that cost center, and we will dive into that in future episodes. Then, you also need to assign a company code to this cost center and maybe a business area if your organization uses them. And finally, the profit center assignment. Even though a cost center doesn't generate revenue, it's still linked to a profit center for reporting purposes. Those fields might seem like admin details, but getting those fields right from the very beginning is critical, especially in large implementations where you might have hundreds or even thousands of cost centers. Now, let me give you a quick real-world example to bring this together. Imagine you are implementing SAP for a mid-sized manufacturing company. They have three main divisions: production, sales, and corporate services. Under production, you create cost centers for each production line, say line A, line B, and the maintenance team. Under sales, you might have cost centers for North region, South region, and the marketing team. Under corporate services, you'll have finance, HR, and IT. All of these roll up into the standard hierarchy under their respective nodes. Now, when a vendor invoice comes in for office supplies used by the HR team, the accountant will post it directly to HR's cost center. When payroll runs, each employee's salary will be distributed to their respective cost center based on their assignment in SAP's HR module. At month end, the controller can pull a report and see instantly exactly how much each department spent and compare it against the budget. That is the power of cost centers done right. Alright, let's wrap up. Cost centers are the foundation of controlling in SAP. They give our organization visibility into where money is being spent, and they make budgeting and reporting meaningful. To summarize, a cost center is an organizational unit that collects costs. No revenue, just costs. They sit within a controlling area and are organized in a standard hierarchy. Key setup fields include the ID, category, validity period, and profit center assignment. And when used properly, they give finance and management real-time insight into spending across the organization. In the next episode, we will look at internal orders. That's another key controlling object that works alongside cost centers, but with a very different purpose. Alright, that's it. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments, and I will try my best to answer them. See you next time.